in charge of policy in Ukraine, and your son's job in Ukraine. How is that not a conflict of interest?
It's not a conflict of interest. There's been no indication of any conflict of interest from Ukraine or anywhere else. Period. I'm not gonna respond to that. Let's focus on the problem. Focus on this man, what he's doing, that no president has ever done. No president.
What's going on with Joe Biden, eh? It seems that Saint Joe and his flock, they're just pure hypocrites. They say one thing and do another. Just this week, Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden, who's already notorious for being a chap that constantly makes the wrong decisions. Just this week, news has come out that he has been roped into pretty much a scandal where a Russian billionaire has sent him money for some reason, which has then been rerouted by Hunter Biden to people in Europe who have in some way links to the sex trade. And obviously, when it comes to left-wingers, their mantra, their Bible, their scripture, they must preach that Orange Man bad, Trump bad, whoa, Trump is bad, Trump bad, never giving any examples, but Trump's bad, remember that. Joe Biden this week has once again shown his true self when he's not pretending to be Grandpa Joe, the chap who wants to show people just how nice and jovial and friendly he is. When you corner Joe Biden, he's not as nice as he claims to be, because a reporter this week asked him if the news surrounding Hunter Biden that's emerged this week, is that somewhere of a conflict of interest? If Joe Biden knew what behaviour Hunter Biden was doing. And Joe Biden says that there was nowhere conflict of interest at all, and then decided to again preach Orange Man bad and start projecting about Donald Trump, saying we need to sort out what this president's doing, what he has done. I'll show you the clip right now.
I'm not gonna respond to that. Let's focus on the problem. Focus on this man, what he's doing, that no president has ever done.
The evidence is there when it comes to Joe Biden and his conflicts of interest, because when he was in office, he fully admitted that when Hunter was going through court procedures in the Ukraine, when it came to being a shadow member of a company, on an energy company on the board of directors, receiving a salary for in an industry that he had no experience in, Joe Biden effectively told the Ukraine government that he, as the vice president, that the US wouldn't release funds to them, wouldn't release aid funds to them until they removed the prosecutor who was in charge of the case against his son.
And I had gotten a commitment from Poroshenko and from Yatsenyuk that they would take action against the state prosecutor, and they didn't. So they said they were walking out to press conference. I said, no, I said, I'm not going to, or we're not going to give you the $1 billion. They said, you have no authority. You're not the president. The president said. I said, call him. I said, I'm telling you, you're not getting the $1 billion. I said, you're not getting the $1 billion. I'm going to be leaving here. And I think it was, 6 hours? I said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money.
You know, and the left, they tried for 3 years to get some dirt on Donald Trump and the Russians, you know, the quid pro quo, of which, you know, no evidence was found to be indictable on Donald Trump to bring him out of office. Yet Joe Biden sat on stage laughing about the fact that he abused his power as the vice president, and Obama was fine with it.
If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Well, son of a got fired.
This is a guy that on most days doesn't know where he is, doesn't know who he is, doesn't know how old he is, doesn't know what he's doing. As evidenced by this footage where he's in an interview just this week and an interviewer asks him a question and he begins to answer, and then he makes it known that he was reading the answers from a teleprompter, and he says, Oh, I lost that line. I'll show you the footage. It's hilarious.
You are going to freeze deportations?
Freeze deportations for the first 100 days. And only people will be deported are people who committed a felony while here. That's number one. I lost that line.
Yeah.
So not only do we have Joe Biden being totally incompetent and quite frankly a moron, the other side of Joe Biden is he's quite narcissistic and he's very, very arrogant when it comes to his position, and he's quite aggressive. He's quite an aggressive chap when he's pushed into a corner. So how do you expect him to be able to run office? You think, yeah, Donald Trump can be a bit of work when it comes to being in conflict with people, but at least he does it with a swagger. Donald Trump, when he comes to confrontation, he does it with a swagger.
Many of these Democrat politicians who are really disciples of a very low IQ person, Maxine Waters, and perhaps even worse, Nancy Pelosi.
He's got this charismatic arrogance, Donald Trump does, where if he feels like someone's slighting him, he will joke. He will make them the butt of a joke. He'll passively aggressively make them the butt of a joke. Joe Biden lashes out. There's a clip where a manual worker confronts Joe Biden, and Joe Biden basically says, "I don't work for you. I've never worked for you." This is the people. The person he was screwing at was a member of the people that he claims to be for, the workers that he claims Donald Trump is against. Do you see where this all comes together? Joe Biden, even though he's being used as a puppet with Kamala Harris's hand up his butt for the far left, he's not actually as far left as the people that are using him. However, he still represents the overall left, the more moderate left, and the intersectionality with the far left.
It's real talk time.
Real talk, why?
Joe Biden represents a side, the left, the political left, the Democrats, that promote the idea of reparations, where they believe that white people should, in some way or another, compensate black people of today for, one, the sins of the white person's fathers, and two, the pain of the suffering of the black people's fathers and mothers. Yet, this is a dude that can't even take responsibility for his own son's actions. Now, granted, his son's a grown man, but at the same time, Joe Biden is not just any man. Joe Biden is not just any father of an adult. Joe Biden and the name Biden carry a lot of weight, carries a lot of clout around the world. People know who Joe Biden is. People know who he is. People know who Joe Biden is, and they know who Hunter Biden is. You know, Hunter Biden, look at the role in Ukraine, most likely got that job due to his name. That's it, because he had no experience in the energy sector. So for a political side that Joe Biden represents, that want to make the people of today pay for the crimes of people from yesterday, he doesn't want to take responsibility for his own son's actions, of which his own son should know that his actions have consequences. And the left must be flapping this now. They'll try and project and they'll say, oh, it doesn't matter because it's not Joe. Hunter Biden's his own man and he's responsible for his own actions. Yeah, that's true, but not everybody's father's running to be the president of the United States. Hunter Biden's conduct should be, you know, it should be top notch. It shouldn't be that of a quasi criminal, really. I'm not trying to say he is a criminal, but what he's been caught doing is, for lack of a better term, morally questionable. Yet Joe Biden doesn't want to acknowledge that there's conflict of interest there. This is foreign policy. This is literally foreign policy. they constantly say that Donald Trump is an agent for Russia and the Eastern Bloc of Europe. But then there's two lots of evidence there where now that Hunter Biden, Joe Biden's son, has got questionable links. One with Russia this week, Russian billionaire sending him money, which is what Congress has released this week. And two, Hunter Biden getting a job on the board of directors of an energy company, a role he had no experience in, and then Joe Biden admitting on film that he wanted the prosecutor removed from the trial, and if they didn't remove the prosecutor, he would withhold funds.
If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Well, son of a bitch. Got fired.
But don't forget, guys, Orange Man bad. If you like what you heard, please do like, comment, and subscribe. Ball's rolling now. We've got to keep going. We've got to keep going. So do like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to ring the bell. Until next time, take care.